Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before we begin this video, we'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Give it double honors unto the elders and apostles, some greatness soon from the apostles to Hakam all the way down. And Shalom to the 144,000 chosen men. Shalom to the elect men, women, and children who will be shortly shown grace in these times. The two brothers from the hills of Yahushai, Cam, brother
Maya Shala.
Brother Hanana, come back out with our part 2 video here dealing with the fact that Esau is the one that is going to be used to bring mayhem upon the earth.
Right. Because again, part 1, you know, the Lord plans to unleash mayhem in the earth. But Esau has his plans as well to unleash mayhem in the earth today. Right? Ultimately, Esau's plan is all just our next part of the Most High's plan.
Exactly. It's what I remember and say Esau plan is the father plan.
As,
yes, I know the end, right?
Right.
The father know the end and the beginning.
As such, a great planner that the Most High is. That he plans people, plans for them, and they don't know. Right? Because that is what we want to get into yet to start it. The power that Esau has in the earth today to be able to unleash this mayhem, which we're going to go into this word mayhem, has been given him of the Father. If you could go ahead.
This is the definition of the word mayhem in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Mayhem can refer to needless or willful damage or violence, and especially to a scene or situation that involves a lot of violence. In figurative use, it may reflect to any instance of excited activity.
Go ahead.
The director's newest thriller is brimming with murder and mayhem. Jumping down to did you know, legally speaking, mayhem refers to the gruesome crime of deliberately causing an injury that permanently disfigures another.
Right.
The word comes via Middle English from the Anglo-French verb mayhem to maim, and probably of Germanic origin. The English verb maim comes from the same ancestor. The disfigurement sense of mayhem first appeared in English in the 15th century. Centuries later, the word came to refer to any kind of violent behavior. Nowadays, mayhem is frequently used to suggest any kind of chaos or disorder, even in far less fraught circumstances, as in there was mayhem in the field after the winning goal was scored.
Right. So the man who's going to unleash the violence in the earth today is Esau and Edom, right? If you give me it, I may in the noun, in the online etymology.
I like that spirit too, because it say here is that is his spirit. I should say that is his spirit, because when I read did you know the first few lines, it says, legally speaking, mayhem can refer to the gruesome crime of deliberately causing an injury that permanently disfigures another. And we know Esau is the one who's guilty of a crime.
It is, we know crime goes back to the word crimson. Crimson what? Red. Right? If you could go ahead there, mayhem in the online etymology.
Yeah.
Right, this is mayhem, the noun, late 15th century. The violent doing of a bodily hurt to another person, right? From Anglo-French mayhem, 13th century, from Old French mayhem, injury, wrong, a hurt, harm, damage. Related to mahagnia, to injure, wound, mutilate, cripple. Originally in law, the crime of maiming a person to make him less able to defend himself or annoy his adversary. By 19th century, it was being used generally of any sort of violent disorder or needless or willful damage or violence, right? Esau is going to unleash mayhem in these last days. If you give me Revelation 12:12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
Esau is this devil, right? And he's coming down on the earth in these last days with holy hell. He's about to unleash on the earth in these last days. Unholy hell, right? The Most High will bring holy hell, and his hell will be unholy, right? Esau, he is this devil that we are speaking about in this Revelation 12 and verse 12. If you give me Revelation 6, because again, he was blessed to do this, right? This prophecy of Revelation 12 and verse 12 can only be played out by the hands of Esau because he was the one blessed to do it. Go ahead.
Revelation 6 and 3, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
There was given unto this man who was riding this red horse. Now it says what? And there went out another horse that was red. We know horse goes back to power, right? Has thou given the horse strength? The book of Job has that precept in it, right? So it says what? There went out another horse that was red. So this power that was given to this man, right, and power was given to him that sat thereon, it's tied to red, or being red, who we know is referred to as the red man in scriptures. Esau and Edom, right? Just read Genesis 25. He came out red all over like an hairy garment, right? Even when you read Genesis 27, what does Isaac tell Esau? By thy sword shall thou live. Esau is the man who's going to bring down the hammer of the earth upon the earth, right? He's the one whose hand is behind all of the evil acts we're going to see being done in the earth in these last days.
And from there to that too, I'm going to jump down in the Revelation 6 and 7, and when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see.
Right.
And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto him, so that, and power was given unto them. So that, you know, you're not just referring to one singular person, it's a freaking group of these fuckers doing this shit.
Because again, the horse is representative of the power, right? Being on the horse represents what? Wielding the power that the horse carries or has, right? Yep.
And the power is given unto Isaac, and power is given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with a sword, and with hunger, with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
Right, so what this man is very mighty and strong in wickedness, evil, and destruction. Is Daniel, as in fact, even before we go there, right? The psalmist sort of said it, deliver me
From the enemy, from like
sword, deliver me from the wicked which is thy sword.
Psalm 7 and 7, right? So like, I think it's 12.
17 and 13.
17 to Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which we know is Esau, Edom.
Right.
Malachi 1 and 4 go tell you that the border of wickedness, which is thy sword,
Right,
from men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life.
Right, who's the one who prosper in this life, by and large, is the so-called YT man, which scripturally he is known as who? Esau and Edom, right?
Whose belly thou fillest with thy treasure, they are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes.
Right, so what? The Edomites, right, if you read verse 9.
There is Psalm 17 and 9. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about.
The book of Psalms, right?
I get you.
Yeah, the book of Psalms here, 5 and verse 6. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. Psalms makes mention of what they speak loftily concerning oppression, right? Yahweh will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. Who's that man in the earth today who has the most blood on his hands? It's Esau and Edom, right? Scriptures tell you that. Habakkuk 2, who's as death and as hell and cannot be satisfied. Yeah, are you going to continue with it?
Yeah, it says Kazaba. BDB definition, so like H3577 Kazaba,
Right.
or Kazab. BDB definition 1, a lie, untruth, falsehood, deceptive thing.
Right, they go forth as soon as they be born speaking lies.
Strong's definition from H3576, falsehood, literally untruth or figuratively idle.
Which what, as my brother Azra I always love to say, and I'll show you get this on my Ella, I believe it most likely would have been Ella Yashawamba, shout out to him, which is Esau's manifestation of his sword. When you read the scriptures, it make mention of what? A sword is furbished. that as well, but what a sword is furbished, meaning what? The ways in which Esau's sword is manifested in the earth today is not just about his physical weaponry and his might in the earth when it comes to literal weapons,
I'll be
but
like his grandest way. in which
his
he
grandest
manifests.
way, right? But what? It's also any means through which they unleash destruction in the earth. Lies is one of those means.
The main one.
Main one, right? They go forth as soon as they be born, speaking lies, right? So these people really full of shit, if we being real. But what? They're here for a purpose. Again, that's Psalm 17:13, deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. And a sword is a perfect tool to use to unleash mayhem in a city and in a place. And again, Salakia, this power was given him by the Most High. Right? He didn't receive this of his own. You read it in Revelation 6. Every time you read about the horse, and power was given unto him, and power was given unto him, and power was given unto him. Is this power that he has of his own might, of his own ability, of his own power? No, it was given him by the Most High. Right? If you could read it in Daniel 8 from 24.
Daniel 8 and 24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
Right.
And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper, and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Right, read verse 25.
And through his policies also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Through his policies, so what another manifestation of his sword. When you read Maccabees, it make mention they had a senate. Right, so it's how do they who work evil upon their beds? If you give me a real quick, Micah
2 and 3. The book of Micah, chapter 2, and verse 3, so like verse 2.
Right.
So like verse 1.
Verse 1.
Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity,
Right. Plan iniquity.
And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
It is in the power of their hand. Whose hand it is today, or whose hand is it in today to work evil upon their beds? Is it not Esau and Edom? Genesis 27 again. He was given the power, the blessing, the say-so to rule the earth, and what? By the means of his sword, as the scriptures say. And by thy sword shalt thou live. If you're living by the sword, you're going to rule by the sword. And what that means is death for all the people who you rule over. Right? Again, Daniel 4:17 makes mention of what? He set it up even overhead, the basis of men. The kingdom of the earth has been given to the lowest man in the earth. And what this lowest man in the earth is gifted with the power to kill, right? But it was given him by the Most High. Daniel 8 and 24 reading in the NIV. He will become very strong. If you could give me it, is it Proverbs 4 and 16? He will become... I just can't remember how it is going, it's a lot. But just to add to the Micah 2, again, another manifestation of the sword is the tongue, the plan wickedness, right? Not necessarily just like running through a city and gunning down people, although
that coming.
No,
I mean, they've done it.
We see it again, this place, the attack. Is it Lebanon? I believe it's Lebanon, if I'm not wrong, Salakia. And what? The headlines read what? After they were done with Lebanon, with the missiles and this and that and the other, they went on, they said what? The scene was left looking apocalyptic. Well, but when this happened recently, could have been last week or earlier this week. So the bomb level, this was after they had the peace talks as well, right? They say, I didn't gonna do nothing, and they wasn't doing nothing. And then, not a Jew went and do your own thing.
So there wasn't doing nothing. I was planning to do something.
Again, as the scriptures say, what they
iniquity upon their beds.
not that. I'd be at peace with thee. That's not.
Even they have like confederacy that are
No,
over that.
No, the one with yet were they drawn swords.
That is Psalm 55 and
55, the book of Psalm 55:20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, which again the people who rule the earth today. who underneath the ones who rule the earth today, right? The other heads of these other nations really was at peace with this man. If you read Psalms 83, and Obadiah even tells you the story, the men of thy confederacy that have brought thee even to the border, right? So at one minute and at one point they were at peace with each other. But what happened? Psalm 55 tells you. Go ahead.
Psalm 55 and 20, he had put forth his hands against such that he had peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
Psalm 55:20 in the NIV, my companion attacks his friends. He violates his covenant. Go ahead.
Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were they drawn swords.
Psalm 55:21, his talk is smooth as butter, yet war is in his heart. Right? And obviously war would be in his heart because, again, prophetically speaking, he is set to unleash mayhem in the earth. He has to. This is what he was built for. Right? His talk is smooth as butter, yet war is in his heart. His words are more soothing than oil, yet they are drawn swords. So yeah, he could real talk a big talk and he could real put you at ease, but you best believe he hand behind his back and his sword in his hand drawn and he ready to chop you down. Right? And this is Esau and Edom for you. Right? Go ahead, what you reading?
Daniel 8 and 25 in the NIV.
Right. I'll read
8 and 24.
24, yeah? You didn't reach 25?
I did. I didn't reach 25. I was waiting to finish reading in the NIV.
Right. He will become very strong, but not by his own power. He will cause astounding devastation and will succeed in whatever he does. And again, because he was blessed by the Most High, that Genesis 27 is playing itself in the earth today. Obviously, he's going to succeed. He cannot be stopped until he's going to be stopped. Second Thessalonians will tell you, right?
Yeah, let it well lesson until what?
He be taken out of the way. That should be the last piece of we could read in this video, right? Succeed in whatever he does. He will destroy those who are mighty, the holy people.
Verse 25 in the KJV, and through his policies also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
Right, there is Daniel 8:25. He will cause deceit to prosper, and he will consider himself superior. When they feel secure, he will destroy many. He will destroy many and take his stand against the prince of princes. Yet he will be destroyed, but not by human power. Again, Isaiah 47, right? To destroy this man, you need to come more than a man as such as powerful as the Lord has made this man, right? And again, this man is
not to cut you off. The scripture say too, and the priest gave me his authority and say what? Who is like unto this man who is able to make war with him?
Right? You cannot war this man. He's too strong, right? And through his strength, he's going to devastate the whole earth. He has done so, right? Because this is what he's known for. This is just proof, right? Who is known for the things we're going to read about here in the earth today? Isaiah 14. They're going to be the first one we pull. We're going to pull 2nd Ezra 11. And then you're also going to pull
that one to
Revelation 11. What's that?
I one fair to Amos 1.
Right. Well, we could go here. There's Isaiah 14. And from verse
6.
12. Because remember, you're going to be known for the destruction you're going to cause. Right. Oh, I understand what you're saying. Salakia, because you're also going to destroy the planet as well. Yeah, I would say this. Yeah. Here is Isaiah 14. We're going to read from verse 4, in fact.
4.
Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, which the new Babylon today is America, and the king of Babylon
is DJ Trump
or Esau Edom, right? Representative of Esau Edom, because we know ultimately Trump is just a puppet anyway. Right? And say, how had the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Right? the Lord Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hinder it.
The jump down now to verse 12.
Verse 12, right? How art thou fallen from heaven,
It's a
O
lot,
Lucifer?
hold on, eh? No fella is come upon. So I read to verse 8 and then you can jump to 12.
Right, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. And even if because we know this literally speaking about the destruction to the earth that this man is going to cause, Revelation 11:18. I'm going to get in a second, verse 11. But what? I see men as trees. So what? Proverbs 29. When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. Sorry, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And what? That is all people, right? So if we say men as trees, spiritually speaking, and Psalms 1 as well, he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Who's the men destroying the men in the earth today? Well, we're gonna tell you, right? Since right no fella has come up against us, right? And going now to verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? And Salaki, I just interject, a fella is basically someone who chops down trees, so like a lumberjack.
Yeah, or not a lumberjack or a tree cutter.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, we now say it in Daniel 8, thou hast said in thine heart, right, how it is he's going to lift up himself in his heart when you read it in the NIV, right? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of power. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. Reading in the NIV, I will ascend above the tops of the clouds, I will make myself like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee. And there's the whole point here. This is how we know he's the man who's going to unleash mayhem in the earth. Because as always, I like to look at the contrast. Always he's so going to look in the kingdom as opposed to how he's being viewed as now in the earth. Right? He's going to be the lowest man in the kingdom. Right? The basis of man, they're about to get a new meaning. Job 30, they're going to live that all over again. Right?
Worse, to be honest, because now they ain't gonna be able to hide. Or if you want to go in the mountains and hide, all your mother can pull him out from there, whip him, get to work.
Right.
Interesting.
Right, because what? As we can see here, this is how the people had been renowned before the Lord came and destroyed them. Right? Is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms? I'm gonna read the rest of this from verse 16 in the NIV. Those who see you stare at you and they ponder your fate. Is this the man who shook the earth and made kingdoms to tremble?
Oh, notice how they say, is this the man? And then say, is this the spirit, the angel? Is this the man?
Exactly. So this is definitely, this Lucifer is speaking about a man and not no spiritual demon Satan. The man who made the world a wilderness, who overthrew its cities and would not let his captives go home. So he enslaved the nations of people and did not let them go. Right. Jeremiah 50:33.
Oh, you know this main, I don't want to say the main people he fuck up is the Israelites with your person man
and his heritage.
And his house, even his heritage, or you press
a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Micah 3 and 2.
200.
Right.
All the kings of the nations lie in state, each in his own tomb. But you are cast out of your tomb like a rejected branch. You are covered with the slain by those pierced by the sword, those who descend to the stones of the pit, like a corpse trampled under feet. So then you can get proper burial, where you're basically going to be like shit in the earth. People just mashing you. You will not join them in burial, right? For you have destroyed your land and killed your people, because again, you is the king of the earth. So you fucking up. And killed your people. Let the offspring of the wicked never be mentioned again. Just reading it real quick in the KJV, I like how it is written here. The seed of evildoers
Evildoers
shall never be renowned. And we're going to show you now Malachi 1 and 4 again. It's true. They're never going to be renowned. The Most High going to cause it. No. 1 and 4. They shall be known as the border of wickedness.
Against whom
Whom Lord had indignation forever. Because what? How are they going to be known in the earth? It's not going to be with renown anymore. Nobody's going to be afraid of this man. Everybody going to know who this man truly is. He's just a piece of shit. Exactly. That is the spirit. Prepare a place to slaughter his children for the sins of their ancestors. They are not to rise to inherit the land and cover the earth with their cities. I will rise up against them, declares Yahweh Almighty. I will wipe out Babylon's name and survivors, or offspring and descendants, declares Yahweh. So now, I think now we're going to get into it, right? Again, what did this man do to be renowned as the man who brought mayhem to the earth? What is the Lord going to do in response to this man, right?
Revelation first or second first?
This the Revelation.
Revelation.
And the Amos as well, if you want to bring?
Yeah. The Revelation
11 and 18.
11 and 18. And the nations were angry. Thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
There's a people in the earth today who's destroyed it. Again, the cedars of Lebanon rejoice. Why? Because these people fucking up the entire compass of the earth. 2 Ezra 11 tells you the story.
Amos 1 and 11.
Right.
That point I wanted to add here real quick. When they go into the word mayhem, it says legally speaking, legally speaking, mayhem refers to a gruesome crime of deliberately causing an injury that permanently disfigures another. And for why he was permanently disfigured? Because what the injury which Esau caused was what? He disconnected us from our power. When he disconnected us from our power, this is what he did to us. Amos 1 and 11, thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he pursues his brother with a sword, 1, and he cast off all pity, 2, and his anger they tear perpetually, 3, and he kept his wrath forever. 4 transgressions of Esau, right? But I will send a fire upon Timon, which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah. Back next quick one time, very quickly, Psalms 83 and 1. Another crime he's committed. Because that was the physical part, the spiritual part. A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silent, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thine people, and consulted against thine hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That is causing mayhem, destruction. Go ahead. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. So what is the spiritual aspect, right? They cut you off from being a nation. We forget who he was. The heritage, Jeremiah 17:4. By whose hands was that act committed? Exactly. Right? It was by the hands of Esau. Edom, and best believe the mayhem which you caused, double that will not be put upon your head. Right. Scripture said, reward unto her double. All that she had done render her double. Right. I will tell last precept. Yeah, 2 Ezra 11:29. Right. Had not thou ate that remainings of the 4 beasts, right? When you read Daniel 7, it said these 4 beasts are 4 kingdoms, right? Whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them. And the 4th came and overcame all beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness. Because again, that the whole point I want to bring out here, they were renowned in the earth for the mayhem which they caused, right? And over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek. Thou hast heard the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth food, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also had looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth, the planet, may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Right? We could even go to Malachi 1 and 4.
Malachi was the last one.
No, and then the second Thessalonians, the Lord going to take these people out of time.
In Malachi 1 and 4, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh had indignation forever.
Oh, reading this in the NIV, just the last part. But this is what the Lord Yahweh Almighty says. They may build, but I will demolish. They will be called the wicked land. Right, when I go into that word border, it goes to the word territory. Right, when you look at the definition and meaning of it. And what? Basically like the dwelling place of wickedness. If wickedness had to live in our people, it would be Esau and Edom, a perfect contrast to Jacob, because what? The Lord made the dwelling place of wisdom, right, to rest in Jacob. A people always under the wrath of Yahweh.
I was going to say, there is age 1366, Gabawal, Tawara, BDB definition, one border territory, 1A border, 1B territory, enclosed within boundary, 1C region, territory of darkness, figuratively.
And we say enclosed within what?
Enclosed within boundary.
So what the boundary of where wickedness dwells in the earth rests with Esau and Edom, right? The wickedness will start and end there, right? In 2 Thessalonians 2. So now what is the Most High going to do to Esau and Edom? For the things they have done to the earth and for all the mayhem that they have unleashed, right? If we could read 2 Thessalonians 2 and from verse 6.
2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 6. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. Perfect priest. So like, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose working is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
And we saw Satan bring mayhem to who?
Job. The Israelites.
Because even after later scriptures make mention of Yahweh was seeking occasion against Israel, and where he sent Satan to go on David to cause David to sin,
to judge the
and then as a result, what? Mayhem ensued on the nation of Israel. So what? There's a man who works as though he's Satan in the earth today. Right? What you say? You're saying something there?
A quick precept to add to the part where it says, only he who now left it, right? It's Sirach 10 and 3. Sirach 10 and 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. But as of right now, he set over it one that is a jackass.
Unprofitable,
yes.
Right? And right, so that is the whole point. Verse 8, if you could just say it, we'll close it up again.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 8.
And I'll read it in the NIV after.
And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Right? And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh will overthrow with the breath of his mouth, and destroy by the splendor of his coming. Right? The Most High is going to destroy these people for all the mayhem which they have unleashed in the earth today. So Lord willing, that lesson was edifying, and that you were edified. In closing, like to say, giving double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of great men, so who surely do rule well, To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, we like to say shalom.
Shalom.
And even unto the sincere aquati sisters who sit listening these lessons in silence, subjection, and obedience unto their husbands, we like to say shalom.
Shalom.
Like this, we wrap up like brothers here from the hills of Yahushua camp
Brother Hanana.
and brother Maya Shala. Until next time, we like to say
Shalom. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.